Good morning again. It's Saturday, April 5th. This is the Finance Committee. We're going to start voting list number 29, and our first vote is going to be
1104.
House Bill 1104 with Nathan, so we can get it over to B&T. So Nathan, go ahead.
House Bill 1104 is a departmental bill that establishes the Population Health Improvement Fund to support statewide population health targets under the AHEAD model. So each year, HSCRC is allowed to assess a uniform, broad-based, and reasonable amount in hospital rates to be credited to the fund, which may be used for statewide population health improvement initiatives. So there are some amendments to the bill that are offered by Senator Lamb that are shown in the reprint. These pick up on page 6 of 7. So the House sent over the bill with a mandated report. Senator Lamb's first amendment would require that the department post a draft report 30 days before finalizing it, and then in the final report include a summary of the extent to which public comments informed the work of the department and the commission. Over on page 7, you'll see that the provision related to the authorization to assess funds through the hospital rates has been separated out into section 3 so that it can have its own sunset provision. So generally, the bill is sent over by the House sunsets after 5.5 years. This provision related to the assessment under Senator Lamb's amendments would sunset after 2.5 years. Beyond that, in section 4 on page 7 of 7, you'll see that there are some required meetings that are to take place between a group of senators, delegates, the Department of Health, and HSCRC. And so those are the amendments. You can see section 5 at the bottom of the page memorializes the termination dates of those separate provisions.
Have any questions on the amendments or on House Bill 1104 as amended? Any questions?
Favorable.
Okay, we have a favorable vote from Senator Lamb and a second from
With
Senator
amendments.
Ellis.
As amended.
As favorable as amended. Thank you. Okay.
House
Tammy,
Bill
we-
1104, favorable with amendment. Vice Chair Hayes.
Yes.
Yes. Senator Kramer.
Yes.
Yes. Senator Reedy.
No.
No. Senator Ellis.
Yes.
Yes. Senator Mounts.
No.
No. Senator Jackson. Yes. Senator Washington.
Yes.
Yes. Senator Guile.
Yes.
Yes. Senator Lamb.
Yes.
Yes. Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yes.
Senator Reedy, I'd like to have a conversation with you after a voting session, please. Sure. Thank you. Okay.
Next bill on the list is House Bill 1474. So this bill, as amended, establishes a temporary telehealth license to be issued by the Board of Professional Counselors and Therapists. The board may issue the license to an individual licensed in another state for purposes of providing via telehealth telehealth services to an out-of-state student attending an institution of higher education in Maryland, but only if the counselor and the student had a previously established therapeutic relationship that existed for 6 months. And so the board is authorized to establish additional qualifications for the license and then are required to adopt certain regulations. The bill that was sent over by the House, the board had indicated that it was problematic because under that bill, they could not discipline a out-of-state counselor in any way. And there were, in fact, concerns raised that not even the board in that remote state could discipline the counselor for conduct that occurred via telehealth to that out-of-state student that was located in Maryland at an institution of higher education. So this is a mechanism that would allow for a temporary 6-month license for the out-of-state provider to maintain the relationship with the student who moves into Maryland, and then that provider out of state could pursue a full Maryland license in order to continue providing telehealth services to that student.
Senator Ellis?
Yeah, thank you. Nathan, why does this bill need to be specific for students? I mean, people travel, like we're here for 90 days, the hotel. I mean, other folks travel like that. I mean, why is it just for students, not for anyone who might need a counselor?
So the amendments
they're
here
away from
offered
home?
by the chair are specific to students because that is the scope of the bill that came over. The committee didn't have an opportunity in the hearing on the House bill to explore a temporary license for all individuals under all kinds of situations. So the chair's amendments limit the bill to the scope as it came over from the House, but accomplishes it by a different mechanism.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Question? Okay, do I have any other questions on House Bill 1474? This came to us from a delegate who happens to teach at University of Maryland, and I think she's had students experience this, so that's why the focus is on students. There's always next year to bring back something broader. So if I can have a motion on House Bill 1474
With amendments.
with amendments.
As amended.
Senator Lamb, do I have a second? Senator Ellis? Okay. Can we just do all in favor of House Bill 1474? Unanimous vote, thank you. Okay, Nathan, I think you're relieved.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, the first bill on your list is Senate Bill 752, and I believe the chair is
Been asked
going
to
to
hold
hold
that
this bill.
First bill.
Senate Bill 752. Okay, the next bill was held over from yesterday. This is the bill that deals with bringing in almost all ERISA plans, as introduced, brought in almost all ERISA plans into the laws governing PBM, so they would be regulated by the Insurance Administration. You have a reprint again in front of you with amendments offered by the sponsor of the Senate bill, Senator Lamb. And what the amendments do, to quickly summarize, is that the amendments strike any changes to the laws governing pharmacy choice as well as reimbursement of pharmacies, but they maintain the other aspects of the law that were in the bill regarding regulating PBM activities regarding pharmacies. However, the bill exempts union ERISA plans developed through collective bargaining from all of those provisions, and these provisions would continue to apply, and that relates to provisions that govern disclosure by PBMs regarding rebates, et cetera, provisions that prohibit PBMs from prohibiting pharmacies from providing certain information, and there's also audit requirements that PBMs may conduct audits under certain circumstances. All those plans would still be, all the plans brought in by the change in definition would still be covered by this, except for union plans under ERISA that were developed through collective bargaining agreements. And then in the back of the bill, there's change to the study language that the House sent over. On page 13, you'll see, and this same language was added to the big PBM study bill that you all just passed the other day. And the two sections that were of most concern to everybody were the section about pharmacy choice and also reimbursement. So the insurance commissioner has agreed that they would also look at the effect that those two sections have on pharmacy costs in the fully insured market. And the bill takes effect June 1st, 2025. However, the provisions that will be brought in will take effect January 1st, 2026.
Do you have any questions on the amendments on House Bill 321? Okay, I have a question. Do you think we can legally exclude one group, like exclude the unions? Is that?
I would have to talk to the AG about that, or the Insurance Administration, but the Insurance Administration initially had concerns with the original proposal from the sponsor of the amendment, so they worked on this language to specifically focus on union ERISA plans that were developed through collective bargaining, and it maintains their authority to regulate all the other plans. So I would assume this passed legal muster, at least with the.
But not with the AG.
I haven't spoken with the AG.
I'd like to have you speak to the AG. I was
Okay.
thinking about that this morning. I thought, can we exclude just one group? I mean, it's a big group, but can we exclude just one group and make it apply to all the other ERISA plans? So
Okay.
if I can hold the bill, we'll have time on Monday.
Okay, and I think the last bill is the bill you just heard, which creates a pilot program for folks who are in arrearage so they can be matched with jobs through data sharing between unemployment insurance and child support enforcement.
Move favorable.
Second. Oh, I can't second. Senator Lewis? All in favor of House Bill 1126?
And it's favorable.
Okay, favorable.
Okay.
Are you finished then, Nathan?
David, yes.
David?
I'm done.
I'm okay, it's Saturday morning. Amber, you have 4 bills.
Yes, so the first two on your list, House Bill 1016 and Senate Bill 672, we can handle together. They're identical now. But generally, House Bill 1016 extends the Baltimore Convention and Tourism Redevelopment and Operating Authority Task Force and requires the task force to identify and make recommendations on funding sources and mechanisms to renovate, revitalize, and develop projects relating to the Baltimore Convention site and certain surrounding areas to sustain the operations of an operating authority. There are no amendments. There was no opposition at the committee hearing, and we have a letter of support from the Baltimore City delegation.
Move favorable. And can we move both at the same time? Amendments to the second bill?
Yes, so House Bill 1016 would be moved favorable. Senate Bill 672 would be favorable as amended, as the amendments would conform it to the House bill.
Senator Davis, and second, Senator Ellis. All in favor of House Bill 1016 favorable, and Senate Bill 672 favorable with amendment. And so,
The next bill on the list is House Bill 431, which as amended is identical to Senate Bill 413, which passed the Senate unanimously earlier this session. The bill establishes that a provision in a consumer contract that sets a shorter period of time to bring in action arising from the contract than that required by state law when the contract is issued is against state policy, illegal, and void. The bill excludes certain consumer contracts and entities from application of the act and only applies prospectively. This bill is amended, but it's amended to be identical to Senate Bill 413.
any questions on House Bill 431? Okay, move favorable, somebody? Senator Ellis, move favorable? And you second, Senator Mounts? Okay, all in favor of House Bill 431? Unanimous vote. Okay.
And finally, the last bill on the list is House Bill 1091, which alters statutory provisions that govern collective bargaining rights for certain employees of the Baltimore City Sheriff's Office. The bill authorizes full-time sworn law enforcement officers and court security officers to seek recognition by the sheriff in order to organize and bargain collectively in good faith with the sheriff and the city concerning compensation, leave, and working conditions. There are no amendments to the bill, there is no opposition at the committee hearing, and there is a letter of support from the Baltimore City delegation.
Mr. Vice Chair?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask that we hold this bill likely until next year. There's still some things that need to be worked out.
He's holding it toward boy. All right. There, that ends the voting on voting list number 29. Tammy, turn off the system.